In Kamala Harris's new book, she reveals that President Biden called her just minutes before her debate with Donald Trump. Imagine that happening. He apparently said that his brother claimed she was bad-mouthing him and that it could create big problems with donors. Joining me now is Deroy Murdoch. Deroy, good to see you. Thanks for being here. What do you make of all these back and forths with Kamala, all the reveals of her book? I don't think that's helping her with her run for the next presidency.
I saw this great headline in PJ Media this morning. It says, in lighter news, Kamala Harris continues to implode. So we've got that going for us. Yeah, no, this isn't good. I mean, the Democrats, what they really need to do is find a message, find two or three ideas which they can promote, and maybe a leader to do all that. And now you've got them looking backwards, looking at infighting between Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. I guess the message of this book is that they were the best of frenemies. And she's there trying to have a debate with Trump, and there's Biden saying, why are you bad-mouthing me to my brother? Very, very strange.
Well, some people think they may have found the messenger. And I'm not talking of Gavin Newsom. The Axios came out with a piece today that AOC from New York, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and her team are positioning her to run for 2028. Everybody thought she was going to run for the Senate against Schumer. Now there are reports she thinks she can make it as the nominee for 2028, to which Deroy Murdoch says what?
Going back to science, nature abhors a vacuum. And there's a total vacuum of leadership among the Democrats. AOC's sort of the philosophical soul and center of the Democrat Party, so why not her? She should be 35 or so, or over 35, so she'll be eligible. And I think she sees a wide open field, so why not run? Maybe she'll make it, maybe she won't, but certainly get experience. If she doesn't make it in 28, she could certainly run in 32. And look, I don't think she'll get elected. She's too far left to win a general election. But as far left as the Democrat Party is now, she very, very, very likely could win the primary.
Now, if Mamdani is the winner of the New York mayor's race, we will have seen about 3 years of a socialist mayor of New York City and how things work out with his policies attached. Do you think that will end up being bad news for her?
I think it will. God forbid if he gets in. You know, first thing you're going to see is the tax base will move to Palm Beach. And it's very hard to give away free stuff when your tax base is another state.
Particularly when you have Trump in the White House, who's not going to bail out Mamdani at all.
No, he's not going to be sending money up here to make Mamdani's life any easier. So that will not be good for AOC, but, you know, that shouldn't slow her ambitions.
Let's move to crime, although that's a part of the New York story. Chicago's Mayor Brandon Johnson promising to eradicate law enforcement. Imagine, listen.
I get so sick and tired of people in this country and in this city that believes that the only thing that you can offer black people and poor people is jails, incarceration, and police officers. The fact of the matter is, no one has asked me to send federal troops into this city to make it safe. We are driving violence down on this city, and we're using every single resource that's available to us. Jails and incarceration and law enforcement is a sickness that has not led to safe communities.
Jails and police are a sickness. He's running a city that has crime totally out of control. What do you make of that?
That's amazing. He ought to say the crime is the sickness. I happened to be in Chicago a couple of weeks ago. The downtown Loop area is beautiful. The Chicago Art Institute's terrific. But you go to the south side of Chicago, the western part of Chicago, you've got real trouble there. You've got one weekend when I think they had like 58 shootings and 8 fatalities. This is not a good situation. And you ought to be talking about the criminals, the problem. What are you going to do about the criminals? And even if you want to say, look, we don't want any federal troops, we'll handle it ourselves, you ought to be focused on how do you get the criminals in Chicago to stop shooting other people in Chicago, his constituents. And most of them are black folks. These aren't a lot of white folks being gunned down. These are largely members of minority groups in the inner city.
And of course, it's not just Mayor Johnson that's a problem. It's Governor Pritzker. He's the one who signed the no bail laws. He's the one who's backing up the things that aren't working in Chicago.
That's right. And just you see with the Democrat Party these days, issue after issue after issue, it just seems like they're on the side of the criminals. No cash bail, lighter sentences. Mamdani saying, gee, we're probably not going to bother to enforce misdemeanors, just the serious crimes, as he calls them. You know, misdemeanors include things like robbing people, smacking people around, unwanted touching. It's not just jaywalking or, you know, dropping.
And a lot of even more violent crimes are put down from a felony to a misdemeanor. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, that's, you know, they're going to be letting a lot of serious criminals off the hook. We got to leave it at that. Deroy Murdoch, good to see you, my friend. Thank you very much.